We've had a couple of flurries throughout the morning, but for the most part, our snow is done for the morning commute, but it doesn't stay away. It will be moving right back in as we're heading into this evening, especially afternoon and evening. Now, this is going to be aided by lake effect, and eventually lake effect takes over entirely throughout the evening and overnight hours, tapering off into early tomorrow morning. But before then, it looks like we could see about 1 to 2 inches of snowfall along and west of US 131. We could even see some areas that are between about 2 to 4 inches within the heaviest snow belts. Now, this isn't exactly very impressive when we're talking about totals. Any other day of the week, we would not be issuing a 13 weather impact alert. But because this is going to be during New Year's Eve, a lot of people out on the roads as we're approaching midnight, and unfortunately during that time frame being snowy and breezy, we wanted to make sure to highlight it for you. That's why we have our 13 weather impact alert for today. After this, though, looking at quieter conditions into the new year with temperatures that are staying in the 20s, so staying pretty cold. As far as today goes, temperature is going to be in the mid to upper 20s near the lakeshore, seeing those snow showers throughout much of the day and breezy winds still hanging around. Northern zone temperatures will be sitting in the lower to mid 20s as well. And as for our southern zone, seeing temps that will be in the mid to upper 20s this afternoon. Your 13 on your side, 7-day forecast. Our 13 weather impact alert issued for this afternoon and evening because of that snow moving in. It's not going to be a lot. It's not going to necessarily be the biggest, baddest snow, but we still are expecting some impacts from this, especially with so many people hitting the roads to ring in the new year. As we're getting into 2026, cold but quieter conditions that last with us through next weekend.
We are going to keep that weather impact alert around really through about 11 p.m. midnight. Really, this snow really exits as we ring in the new year. So we are going to see some snow and a lake effect, and it's going to add up for most of us, particularly those lake effect areas could see additional accumulations that really slow down travel, but everyone's going to have at least the potential to need some extra travel time as we go through the day. We do have some lake snow warnings in place for Lake Geauga, Ashtabula County. That's where we're going to get a little bit of help in terms of that lake effect. That's going to help totals to get a little higher out towards those areas as we go through the day. Many other counties with winter weather advisories, or we're just expecting some accumulating snow later today that could cause some issues. And of course, we had a little bit of that through the overnight hours. Temperatures still struggling, definitely cold enough that it's all snow out there. Most of us teens to low 20s, feeling even colder. Our winds are still on the breezy side. Cold enough that it's a really fine snow that fell through the overnight hours, almost a little glittery out there. Much of that steady snow that we had through the overnight hours has moved out. Still a little bit of that lingering down towards Holmes County right now, through the Millersburg area and beyond, heading south from there, but the lake effect is taking over. Now that our first Clipper system has moved out, that lake effect is going to be our main focus as we go through the morning and at least into lunchtime or so before we see our next Clipper arriving. So we've got a good band coming in off of Lake Erie here, really focused across areas of Lake County. So that includes a good portion of 90 where Mark was driving there, a good portion of 20 as well. Some of that snow getting into northern Geauga County and pushing into Ashtabula County as well. So that's where we're really going to see the bulk of the slowdowns, if you will, through the day or through the rest of the morning and early afternoon. But roads are still looking pretty decent. A lot of those highways at least are pretty good. This is a look at I-90 at State Route 91. And you can tell it snowed certainly, but cars are getting through. So factor in a little bit of extra time as we go through the day, but really not too bad out there for this morning. Be a different situation by the time we get into the evening. We had Clipper 1 that moved through overnight. That is exiting off to the southeast. Here's Clipper number 2. That's going to be heading our way and give us some more of that widespread snow as we get towards the afternoon and evening. So that could be an impact for everyone through the second part of the day. We'll walk through this National Design Right hour-by-hour forecast. Winds are going to stay breezy. Temperatures really stay stuck in the 20s for much of the day. That lake effect band is what we're going to be watching as we go through the morning and through about lunchtime or so. That's going to be our main focus. As we head into the afternoon hours, we get that steadier snow to return to the picture with this next Clipper. So that's going to move in by kind of the late afternoon hours. Anybody who's still working out there for today, we do have some snow falling for almost everyone through that evening commute. So plan on some slowdowns there. And even if you just have plans to maybe head out to ring in the new year through the evening hours, we're going to continue to see snow around. Everyone's going to have that chance for snow. And we could get some stronger pushes of snow where we get some heavier bands and some snow squalls to set up. That could produce some heavier snowfall rates, and that could mean some very low visibility from time to time, and also some quick accumulations for a few areas, and also some issues with travel. So this snow is going to be exiting as we get towards the new year. We ring in 2026 with drier conditions overall, and that's going to be the way many of us stay for the rest of the week. Still a chance for a little bit of isolated lake effect as we get into later Thursday and Friday, really focused on those primary snow belt areas. We do look much drier heading into Saturday and Sunday. So looking dry for our first weekend of 2026. Rest of that Union Home Mortgage forecast. Again, weather impact alert for today. That snow is winding down by midnight. A little bit of lake effect for the next couple of days, and then we're dry for the weekend. We're going to keep our temperatures struggling in the 20s and below freezing for the rest of this week. And then we're looking a little warmer heading into next week in that first full week of 2026.
The National Weather Service, a winter storm warning, make sure I say it correctly, across Erie County, also Genesee, Wyoming, and Chautauqua, Cattaraugus counties. You see winter weather advisories in purple. Down south, a lake effect snow warning from that National Weather Service Office of Pennsylvania. So here we go with the timing of the snow again. Lake band, here we are intensifying, and we're moving its way across southern Erie County. Your morning commute should be a-okay. If you're a 9 to 5er, your afternoon commute in and around Buffalo is going to be snowy. It's not going to be especially windy today, but we are going to get those big fluffier lake effect. The crystals are actually more moisture-laden and bigger. The fractal itself. Notice a generalized snowfall now combined with the lake enhanced snows. So the snowiest part of the day today will be 3 to 7 p.m. And we're talking, from Tonawanda to Hamburg, getting the heaviest snow during this period of time. A couple inches an hour is possible with these. You see these indigo color here, and then extending into about 8 p.m. or so, and then the lake snow starts to taper off. Well, if you live in East Aurora, lake snow continuing through about 9:30 or so, and now we see the southern tier getting a burst of 1 inch or 2 of snow an hour. The highest totals will be again. South of the stadium, between the stadium and Springville in Erie County, we'll end up with the highest totals with this. Lake snow's more sporadic tomorrow. Generally south of the city, it's going to be a cold start to 2026. And then lake snows redevelop Thursday night into Friday across the southern tier. So a couple snow maps to show you. Here's the northern half, obviously. Here's the snow for the rest of 2025. Happy New Year. Here's your day and night's worth of snow until midnight. Southern tier, I'm going to extend you out. First of all, here's your day's worth of snow today. Here's what to expect today in York County. And I'm going to let this go now all the way through Friday. So now here is a 3-day snow total for the southern half of our viewership, which will end up with the highest amounts. And here you start to see this, 2 feet, 2.5 feet of snow for the Chautauqua Ridge. Again, 18 inches or so for southern Erie County into Ellicottville for now through Friday combined. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. Be quieter day tomorrow, and I'll be home enjoying it. So in the 20s today for Buffalo, 4-ish inches of snow. For the south towns, again, plan on 8 to 12 inches of snow. A cold start as the ball drops. Again, wind chills near 0 tomorrow. Intermittent lake snows tomorrow, and then lake effect snow reinvigorates and targets the southern tier for Friday. Here are the first 6 days of 2026. For the Bills game, it'll be in the 20s. It's not going to be a weather game. It won't be especially windy. I don't think any snow considerations for that game. Go Bills. Happy New Year.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Stanonis. Lake effect snow, it's a rare and unique weather phenomenon, and it can happen anywhere there's a large enough lake with cold enough air flowing over the relatively warmer lake water. A more common place for this, for all the weather ingredients to come together, well, it's the Great Lakes region, and that's where we see most of that lake effect snow happening. And lake effect snow, as we know, can have a big weather impact. So let's go more into detail on that and how lake effect snow develops. Well, you get colder air that moves over the warmer lake water, and as that warmer air rises, since it's more buoyant and less dense than colder air, as it rises, it cools and condenses and forms clouds, then precipitation and snowfall that dumps downwind of the lake and over land. and you can get multiple feet in a short period of time from lake effect snow. There are three main weather ingredients that need to come together for this. One, cold enough air flowing over that relatively warmer lake water to generate enough of that instability for convection and that rising air. And the greater the temperature difference, the heavier the snow can be. And you can even get thunder snow. Also, you need enough atmospheric moisture in place to get those snow crystals developing and growing in that rising unstable air. And three, the wind flow over the lake, best case, is over the longest fetch or length of the lake, giving that air more to work with in terms of generating more instability and producing snowfall. So the direction of the wind flow is important for the snow amounts and locations of the heaviest snow bands. For instance, over Lake Erie, when you get that southwesterly wind flow, that's when areas just northeast of the lake can get a lot of heavy snow, including Buffalo, New York. Same for a westerly flow over Lake Ontario. The eastern end of the lake then can get buried in the heavy snow. Another unique thing about lake effect snow is it is very localized. The lake effect snow bands are usually pretty narrow, sometimes only 10 to 15 miles wide, and just a few miles north or south of the band can be mostly sunny. And get this, a lake effect snow machine can just keep going and going for hours and days, generating significant amounts of snow very quickly, as long as the main weather ingredients stay in place. Lake effect snow events can be very intense and of long duration, producing snowfall rates up to around 5 inches per hour, creating whiteout conditions and blizzards. Massive amounts of snow, multiple feet of snow, can be produced in just a day. And lake effect snow events can last many, many days, which can shut down local cities and airports. That's why it is important to stay weather aware of updates on where and when lake effect snow bands can develop, and have a safety plan in place, such as enough supplies to hunker down through the storm, also alternate routes and travel plans well before lake effect snow happens. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Stenonis.